Monday, August 18, 2025 at 6:33 p.m. Reminder to everybody here, this meeting is being digitally recorded, so please be aware and be respectful of each other, both speaking as well as when you're listening. Katie, you want to do the communications
Yep.
and announcements?
Yep, so this Saturday, in case you haven't seen all the signs, is the Dingy Dash. It starts at 10 a.m. at Brigham Pond. Today is the deadline to get your applications in to enter. The entry forms can be found on the town website under special events. And there is a drop box out in front of town offices that they can be put in. I will be grabbing them all tomorrow. So I have a handful, but I know there's more up there waiting for me.
You've gotten at least one or two.
Yeah, I had a few people message me like, can I drop it off today? I'm like, yes, today's the deadline. So anyway, it's this Saturday. The weather's actually looking good, so that's a plus. So again, 10 a.m. down at Brigham Pond, the Dingy Dash. Later on that day, the Hubbardston Run and Gun is having a Summerfest at 1 p.m. They will have live music. They have some craft vendors and food and craft beers down there. But again, it starts at 1 p.m. and it goes to question mark, which I mean, I'm assuming it just kind of goes till it goes. So, till everybody's done. But that's at 1 p.m. this Saturday as well, down at the Run and Gun. And then on September 6th is the 28th annual 5K for the library. It's a really good fundraiser that they run. Mark Wigler does that. It starts at 9 a.m. The application, registration fee forms and stuff can be found on the library's town website. And to my knowledge, it's $30 to register. And they start at the school and they do the 5K. They run down Elm and come back. There's a line and you turn around and come back. But it's really well run and organized, and it's been going on for 28 years. So sign up. Then we have on September 13th, we have field day from 9 to 2. The Hubbardston Lions will be at the rec field with all kinds of music and fun and festivities. Usually there's chicken barbecue, all kinds of good stuff. And again, that is September 13th at the rec field, 9 to 2 field day. On October 4th, the Hubbardston Rod and Gun is doing a car show. I think it's their first annual car show. From 10 to 4 down at the Rod and Gun. See them for more details on that. And then on October 11th, I'm doing Non-Such Fest at the rec field, which is from noon to 7 p.m. It's going to be a food truck festival with live music all day and fun activities, and we're encouraging people to come in costume and just be weird. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be fun.
Pencil in the second.
Huh?
Pencil in the second.
Oh.
It'll be the open house and potentially, what is it, Taste of Hubbardston?
Yeah, Taste of
maybe?
Hubbardston combined. There's pencil, save the date, because we're working on that. So,
Where'd the summer go?
yeah, I know. Tell me about it. It's
You
like,
said Dingy Dash, I said, where'd the summer go?
yeah, I know. It's like, well, Dingy Dash is the end of summer. Same with field day. It's like the end.
Oh.
Like that's when it's like school starts and you just everything goes back. Same with 5K. It's all right there.
Right. All right, thank you. Are there any other announcements or any reports that you thought before us at this time? Seeing none, thank you very much. We'll go on.
Oh,
Yep.
Patricia's model rocket thing isn't that this week?
I can't remember the date, but yeah, she's got a bunch of stuff at the library.
She's
going
launched
on.
model rockets once already,
Nah, she's got another
so
one coming
there's
up.
another one.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was on Wednesday, but I'll double check.
She's gone all week,
Okay,
So maybe it's not this Wednesday. It might be
Okay.
next Wednesday.
but
She
she's
might have
pretty
my dates
nimble. She
wrong.
could be back from wherever she is.
Yeah.
all right, we'll move to item 3, Capital Solutions Grant Matrix presentation.
Mr. Chair, respectfully, can I ask that we take Mr. Horn out of
Oh,
order?
okay.
So that he,
Isn't waiting forever.
Sure, all right. He's under the consent agenda.
under building commissioner.
Okay.
So,
He's-
Mr. Williams, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. David Horn. He is the deputy building commissioner. Is that your position for the city of Worcester? At one point, he was the commissioner for the building department in the city of Worcester. He brings a tremendous amount of experience in a area that is actually very, very hard to fill. We are very fortunate that Mr. Lanciani was able to make this connection and that Mr. Horn is looking for something outside of his regular 9 to 5. I do think with his experience and our foray into e-permitting, we are going to be able to make this work really, really well for the residents of Hubbardston. This will also coincide with the release of our how to do business and how to build in Hubbardston document that will be coming out this fall. And with that, Mr. Horn, Commissioner.
Welcome, Mr. Holm. And thank you
Thank
for,
you.
thank
Nice
you
to
for your
meet you.
interest. Is there anything you'd like to say to us? And then if the board has anything to say to you, I'll turn it over to them.
Well, I'd just like to say thanks for the opportunity. I look forward to working in the town and getting to know you folks and some of the town out there. I've spent 25 or 26 years now working solely for the city of Worcester inspectional services, so it'll be a little bit different, and I look forward to seeing what it's like to be out in a small town.
He has 300 bar rooms.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little different out here.
I just want a little clarity, if I may. So in terms of my positions, as Nate was mentioning, so I am the deputy commissioner for the city of Worcester. I've been with the department, like I said, for 26 years, and I've managed that department. I have been, at times, I was the interim commissioner while they were looking, the city, just so we understand, the city of Worcester being as large as it is, and I'm sure you're all aware how large a city, I think it's a population of 208,000. They have a position above my position as building commissioner. It's commissioner of inspectional services, but this particular commissioner they hired recently is both the building commissioner and the commissioner. So as interim commissioner, that I was there for a year and a half or so, I will say that I thought it'd be best for me to stay in my deputy position rather than trying to take on the role of the commissioner for the city of Worcester. Massive responsibility. But that being said, I just wanted to clear that up. I know it's a little confusing on my resume, Nate, but
I'm not confused. I think it's awesome that you got to serve.
Well, thank you. And if there's any questions or anything, I look forward to getting to know you folks, Nate, and moving forward. I'm not too sure what our next steps are, but I'm sure you'll tell me soon.
I'll call you at some point tomorrow after your hours in Worcester. If the board
So
vote.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
I'll call you tomorrow afternoon.
I didn't hear it.
Can't talk when he's talking.
I will call you tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, I thank you, Nate. That's perfect. You have my cell number.
I do.
Does anyone on the board have anything they'd like to ask at this time?
I do.
Peter, go ahead.
Hi, Peter Walker, Select Board Member. So the question, I know you've been in Worcester for 26 years. Have you ever worked in small towns before? As in,
No.
as in inspections and, I mean, we've got 42.
No.
I mean,
Let me scratch that. I was the alternate in town of Berlin for a short time.
yeah,
That I gave up after some time, but I did work as an alternate briefly in the town of Berlin.
yeah, we kind of compare to that, but they're more popular. They have more commercial. We don't have a ton of commercial here, so. All right, that was all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Anybody else? Seeing none, then could I have a motion to appoint David Holm as building commissioner, 15 hours a week at $50 an hour.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I don't understand what I'm looking at here in the packet.
This is an appointment.
It says we're
And
accepting
we're
the
taking it so that he doesn't have to wait for us to get through
I
this.
understand all that, thank you.
Okay.
The packet, the page in the packet says we're accepting a resignation. from Robert Duffy,
Yep.
Yeah.
resigning from,
From being the building commissioner.
He's the one who found Mr. Home for us.
So this is packaged in the consent agenda, and I think because Mr. Owen is with us right now, Jeff wanted to take it out of order just to have it approved while he was on the phone with us. So that's why he's asking to do that. But I guess with that, maybe.
so we're
we could-
approving David Home outside of the
Consent agenda.
consent.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
And the way I put it in the consent agenda was to have Duffy resign before Dave and then bring Duffy back on. But I don't want him to have to wait what will likely be 30 minutes between the two presentations that are going to occur.
Got it.
Okay? All right, once again, any other discussion?
Is that at the same rate we were paying Mr. Duffy?
It's a little bit more than we were paying Mr. Duffy, and I brought Duffy's proposed salary down to that of an assistant for his proposed rate, with staying with the town for up to 5 hours at Mr. Horn's discretion, and only at Mr. Horn's discretion.
So what would the annual cost be?
$40,000, just the way it was before. It's how you slice it up.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, motion's on the table. All in favor?
Aye.
Yes,
Yes.
opposed? Motion carried. Welcome aboard.
Thank you, sir.
I don't think he's here.
He's not here.
Miles, sir?
Yep, you're all
Yes,
set.
you are.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, it's nice meeting you all, talk to you all soon.
You too, sir.
Okay. Now, it's, that's Mrs. Thompson, right? Go to Capital Solutions Grant Matrix presentation. Item 3, Ms. Thompson, would you like to?
I would. Select Board, thank you for welcoming Jen Thompson of Capital Strategic Solutions. It feels like a very long time ago, but this is the company that we put $2,000 of ARPA money into to come and create a grant matrix. Then life kind of happened. So this is, the grant work and the matrix is a little dated at this time, but the proposal to continue working together on federal and infrastructure grant opportunities is hot off the presses. She sent that last week. So with that, I will pass you to Jen from Strategic Solutions. Again, thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you. Nice to see everyone. For those of you that I've met before, nice to meet you again. And for those that I haven't met, it's nice to meet you for the first time. I'm just going to share my screen, hopefully. You just make sure you can see that, right? Is that up?
Yes.
As good as we're going.
How's that?
Good.
Yep,
Is that showing?
yes.
About as good as it's going to in our current situation.
Okay, you know what, it's only a few slides, and it's I'm gonna go through it fairly quickly because I know you have a full agenda, and there's really not anything on here that's not in the matrix report that you already received. So I'll just I just wanted to give a quick update and background. So we'll just go through it really quick. For those of you that don't know us, we're a company called Capital Strategic Solutions. We're based out of Hudson. We're a firm that's made up primarily of folks that have worked in the municipal sector, the majority of their careers, have spent a lot of time, especially on the grant side, writing grants, administering grants, and reporting on grants, both state and federal and private grants. So we have a whole team of folks that do that type of work, as well as other type of municipal work. As I mentioned, almost everyone spent the majority of their careers in the public sector, and now work as consultants. Many are retired or semi-retired or work part-time, providing services to cities and towns, primarily in Massachusetts, but we work throughout New England. So as Nate mentioned, we did some initial work last year. I just wanted to quickly recap what that was. Some of you were at the workshop and are very familiar with what we did, but for those that are watching us for the first time, we came in and reviewed a lot of your documents. You had some great planning documents, a lot of budget documents that we went through. We looked at your capital plan, all of your planning documents, just to look at what the priorities were of the town at the time. We also met with Nate and the administration to go through what the high priority items were. And then we held a workshop, and the town did a fantastic job. I was actually virtual at the time, but you all did a great job of doing something similar to what you see in this picture. And that was having the different stakeholders from the town come together. We held a workshop, and then we talked about priorities, what the priorities are of the town, especially in terms of what type of projects you feel you need to be looking at for possible alternate funding opportunities. And then did an exercise of where people rank those, and then you see the post-it notes up on here. It's very similar to how you did it, and then came up with some priorities, and we were able to kind of carve out ones that are high priorities, you know, moderate to mid priorities, and some lower priorities of the town. Again, that was like a ranking that happened based on how much input we received from the folks that were in the room. And then once that was finished, we looked at those and tried to align them to some possible funding opportunities. And then we developed that grant prioritization plan and that matrix report that Nate was mentioning, which you should have received a copy of. Again, these are all pretty static, so things can change and shift, but that's okay. It really was meant to just have a clear picture of some of your long-term goals and needs. The grant landscape has changed significantly in the last year, so all of that has changed at the same time. But that's okay. It's really just to highlight what your priorities are, some of the highest priorities, and where you want to focus some of your efforts, knowing that there's other things on the back burner that may come up just because a grant opportunity happens to align. But it's really just to give us a sense that if something does come across our desk, for example, or your desk, you're aware that that might be something that matches up with one of the things you identified as a priority. I just want to quickly go through how those priorities ranked out at the time. Again, this has been a few months, so things may have changed, and you certainly will shift priorities as time goes on. But what immediately rose to the top were two significant areas: the 48 Garden Road property, including some ADA improvements. We've talked about possible federal USDA grants. I know Nate has already had some conversations with the regional folks at USDA. And then some HUD and CDBG opportunities possibly for that property. And then of course there was, like most municipalities, especially in New England, there was a heavy focus and need identified for road work, bridge work, any sort of infrastructure work within the town. We've talked about MassWorks, which you are already very well aware of. And then we also talked about the Federal Highway Administration's bridge program, some EPA SRF funding, which I'm sure you're well aware of. And then we moved to, oh, sorry. And then those were really the top, those were the top projects that were identified through that workshop. The next category are still high priority projects, ADA compliance in your buildings and facilities, the expansion of the senior center, the elevator in the library, and then walking trails. These were all identified, and you'll see underneath those possible funding opportunities that we've matched it up with in the matrix report. Then the next category are moderate and mid to low priority projects. Some economic development at the 21 Gardner Road facility, broadband and cellular was brought up as a priority. Public safety equipment and staffing, playgrounds, a shelter and slide at the playground, solar panels, those were all looked at as moderate priorities based on your workshop that you held. And then mid to low priorities that came out of that workshop included feasibility of town-owned properties, zoning revisions, fire truck, public safety facility, sand pits. Sorry, my screen wasn't showing it. There you go. I wasn't sure if it was blocking it. So those were the moderate and mid to low priority projects that were identified. And then finally, some priority projects that are still important, but just were lower, in terms of priority, in terms of things that needed to be done immediately or looked at as soon as possible. But some of those lower priority projects are staffing and services for your council on aging, historic preservation, there was talk about, a museum and things of that nature. Recreation and various recreation, I think, fields, and there was a lot of conversation about recreation in general. Playgrounds, again, which ties into that. Lighting on Main Street, public safety staffing, and then renovations to your library. We talked about this at the beginning of the workshop, and when we reviewed all of your materials. The town has already done a great job at both applying for available grants and positioning yourself for future funding. So the fact that you have such great planning documents, the fact that the boards have really made an effort to look long-term at your capital needs and position yourself so that you are ready for possible funding opportunities is huge, and you should be very proud of yourselves. You've also done a great job at kind of going for grants yourselves without having to spend a lot of money on consultants. Some of that low-hanging fruit that you can apply yourselves without having to pay someone like us to do it, you've done, which is wonderful. And some of those cyclical grants that come up every year, you're already on top of and making sure that you're applying for, which is wonderful. There are some larger state grants that you're already aware of, that we talked about, that are on your radar. And then the conversations we've had are whether or not you might be eligible for some of those larger federal grants, which is when you might want some assistance, depending on how large of an application some of those might be. That's a situation where we would certainly come in if you needed it and help you apply for any sort of a federal opportunity if you thought it was going to be worthwhile for any of those priority projects. As I mentioned, the landscape of grants has changed significantly in the last year. Many of the programs were put on hold while the government was switching over. We are starting to see things come back online, especially on the transportation side. So I think you'll start to see a lot more grants open up in the fall and the spring. Perhaps with some different qualifications and changes, excuse me. But we were sort of in this holding pattern, I would say, for the last year, and a lot of grant programs were put on hold temporarily. The town itself receives a lot of state and federal grant notifications, but so do we. We do a lot of grant work, and we're on a lot of notification systems for grants. So being an existing client of ours, as soon as something comes across our desk that we think might fit into one of those categories of one of those priority projects, we would automatically just notify you and say, hey, just want to make sure you know about this opportunity. Is this something that's already on your radar? Is this something you might be interested in? And do you need any help? In some cases, you might not need any help at all. It could just be an opportunity that you either were aware of or weren't aware of, and you can apply on your own. It doesn't require a lot of extra effort. Or we might identify something that does require some extra effort and you may need some assistance. But that's pretty much how we assist cities and towns. We make sure that we're keeping you in the loop on any opportunities we hear about on our end, and how it might align with some of your priority projects.
Noting that it's not until later, but what would be some of your suggestions? Like, I did ask for, just in the name of transparency, because technically the monies are approved and we can utilize up to 10,000, but I feel that that type of investment should be decided at an elected level, so I brought it here. If the $2,500 for this proposal is authenticated this evening, what do you think we would do first, or what is your suggestion, just in the brief?
That's exactly where it's going next, so thank you. That's perfect. So I think, we could talk about this, but I think the focus that you would like from us, and from my understanding, is really in those top priority areas. So while we will always keep our eyes open for any opportunity, we would certainly try to laser focus in on those two high priority areas. That's the facilities and capital investments. So anything in your, accessibility wise, modernization, safety improvements, certainly the library elevator and capital upgrades, any sort of senior center expansion, anything that comes across that's pretty specialized, that's been in those groups involving facilities, I think is something we would make sure we have on our radar. And then of course, I think the second biggest bucket or area that you'd like us to keep an eye on for you are certainly the road, bridge, and infrastructure projects. And I do think, hopefully I'm right, that those are the grants that we're primarily gonna see open back up in the fall and maybe early spring. I'm sure you already have, a lot of the SRF on your radar. I don't think you probably need much help with that, but some of those larger kind of US, transportation and DOT type projects, I think that's where you would primarily like us to focus.
That is exactly where I think you should be focusing, and only from my office, in my opinion. The select board can speak on it after. But if we could find a way to string together safe routes to schools and a federal opportunity, we could do almost all of our high tier roadways, meaning two of our main ones, New Templeton Road and High Street, connecting the complete kind of downtown area. And the other priority, in my opinion, would be the new meeting house and working with partners at the state level to determine feasibility there, and 48 Gardner Road at different varying project points. I know that a lot of grants don't just cut checks for public safety building, but I think we are in a unique spot as we are creating from within.
I agree. I think, but those focus areas clearly came across as high priority. I think the timing actually might be good in the next few months for some of those that might open up. And the way that we structure that contract, that proposal that you have, is you only pay for our services if you need it. So if grant opportunities don't come up that you need our assistance with, you don't have to pay us anything. But it's really an on-call contract that you can use as much or as little as you like. We do that specifically because the grants, are a little bit uncertain, or your priorities might shift. But more importantly, I think we do it because we've all been on your side. I know some firms come in and they kind of charge you a retainer or like a set amount. That's not how we operate. We're kind of here as a resource if you need us and if you need assistance with grants. And again, if it's a simple grant that you don't need our help with, you just make sure you know about it, and then you're kind of off and running and can apply on your own.
Jennifer, hi, Heather Monroe here. Quick question for you. So, some of these grants, because it's a huge mix of all different things. MassWorks is in here, some of the bridge stuff, other ADA, et cetera. What is your company's success rate when you have applied for these grants? So, if you had to put it all together cumulatively, could you tell me what, approximately how many grants you put in for and how many that community you've worked with has been awarded?
Sure. I could probably get you the exact numbers, but I can certainly ballpark it enough for you. I would say on the state grant side, our numbers are higher, which is not surprising, right? The federal grants are much more competitive.
Yeah.
I would say we've been doing like kind of focused grant work for the last 3 years. And I would say we're probably on the state side about 85% of what we've applied for, we've received. We've had more success. So we have some big cities that we represent, and then we have some really small towns that we work with, like, Oakham and Bernardston. And I would say the last 2 years, we've had more success with the smaller communities, which is wonderful, because I know, 10 years ago, or, no one looked to the western part of the state and really kind of focused on the rural communities. So we've seen much more of a success rate with those in the last few years that I've certainly seen in my career. And then on the federal side, I would say, I think the number is lower. I'd probably say 65% in terms of what we've applied for. We have, and keep in mind, there's some that we knew our chances were low, and the community still chose to go ahead. they felt like it was worth the effort. Because that's something you have to kind of weigh out too. So, if you're presented with a grant opportunity, we'll give you a sense of how many hours, if you want our assistance, we'll give you a sense of how many hours we think it will take for us to help you, and then you need to weigh whether or not it's worth it. Whether or not that expense is worth your chance of, possibly getting the grant. But those are kind of ballpark. I could probably get you the real numbers tomorrow if you want.
Nope, that's fine, that works for me, thank you.
Jennifer, Jeff Williams, one of the items that is on the list as mid-low priority, I'd just like to mention in the sense, the sand pits. This has been something that's been a topic for many, many years here, as far as it's an asset that we would like to somehow find a use that we could have that might bring in some income to the town. Even though it's on a low priority aspect, I would like you to, at least my opinion, I would like to see that still very much an issue here, because it's something we are still working on now, trying to find something that can be done that might help the town out.
And that's our
Good.
second largest opportunity for federal grant money.
Right.
Just because of the way it connects to other towns, people, places, and things.
Did you hear that?
Sorry, you cut out a little bit there.
Who did you miss, me or Nate? Or both?
Oh, Nate.
Okay.
Nate cut out a little bit,
She
sorry.
knows.
Okay.
I'm just saying the same thing.
Anybody have anything else they'd like to say or ask? Okay, then, we don't have any action taken anyway. Well, then, thank you for your time and your report, we appreciate that, and keep our fingers crossed that you continue having 85% or better results.
And better. Oh, better for Hubbardston.
Better in-
Find
in
something
the
to
state.
propose.
Better. I'll go for better.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Great, nice to see everyone, thank you so much.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Mr. Chair, I proposed a motion later, just scrap it. I thought she was gonna be bringing something that would be more specific this evening, but just scrap that and I'll let you know if what comes up.
Okay, sure.
So,
Chris?
so what, so I guess my question is, what are we doing here? I see that, have we approved $2,500?
Technically, the $10,000 from town meeting is approved at my office's discretion. I want to bring this forward to you guys because I feel that the $10,000 is an opportunity that we should try to get the most ROI, return on investment from, so I don't just wanna dump it in. Whereas we may want to work with Ms. Thompson in the future, right now I think our better opportunity is to continue down the road looking at, there are some people that are interested in working on some of our infrastructure grants sooner rather than later with an actual proposal in hand, so I will put that together and bring it to your attention. If something needs to be rushed.
By
I'll-
people, you mean external people?
Yep.
Anything else on this? Okay, then we'll move to the item 4, open session. Ed Blanchard's here about the Mission Canoe. Ed, if you like.
Ed Blanchard, 23 East Common Pond Road. Thank you for giving me the time on your agenda this evening regarding the Hubbardston dugout canoe from Common Pond. What I say this evening are only my comments and not those of our committee. I've not spoken directly with them since your last select board meeting on 8/4. About 2 years ago, Pam Mitchell was working on the history of Comet Pond for our association and found out about the Comet Pond dugout canoe. She researched and worked to get us an appointment with the Worcester Historical Museum. I've been working on this project with Pam and Bill Shea for the last 4.5 months. Before the meeting with the Worcester Historical Museum, I set up meetings with the select board Historical Commission, Historical Society, Comet Pond Association, and the Marian family who found the canoe to get their support for returning the canoe to Hubbardston. The meetings with the Worcester Museum went well, and they were interested in our proposal. They shared with us that they were going to contact the Nipmuc tribe and would get back to us if it was available for Hubbardston. All of this information was shared with the town. The museum wanted the town to be the owner of the canoe after the museum got back a response from the tribe. The town has every right to do due diligence to protect the town. To contact the Nipmuc tribe directly, going around the museum, Worcester Museum, and our committee without any feedback from us certainly changed the direction of our project. I expressed those concerns at your last select board meeting. Then to not be included, myself, not to be included in the virtual meeting with the tribe, I felt very left out. After so much effort and work and communication with all the town staff. Could the town have checked with us before direct contact with the tribe? Could the town have included me in the virtual meeting? Hindsight is 20/20. Because the town has taken over the project's direction, I have the following questions. Did the town research that the dugout canoe was an artifact of the Nipmuc tribe? Gary Tangus has information that it was another Indian tribe. Once you have the Nipmuc tribe's answer to the town, will you notify the Worcester Historical Museum Director, William Wallace, of their decision to accept the canoe? Will the town notify all the stakeholders of the Nipmuc tribe's decision regarding the canoe? The stakeholders are Pam Mitchell, Bill Shea, Ed Blanchard, the Hubbardston Historical Commission, the Hubbardston Historical Society, the Comet Pond Association and their 25 members, the Marian family, Susan and Paul Flagg. Thank you for listening and understanding my concerns of the town handling of this most important artifact. Please enter my comments in your minutes of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
If I might add before you leave, when we had that meeting with the tribe, Bill was there, and it was my understanding you were not able to make that meeting.
That's not correct.
Well, that was our understanding.
I was never invited. He knows that. You know that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Incidentally, for any of you who have any questions in terms of where we're at with that, when we had the meeting and Peter was there, along with Bill Shea, and we had a Zoom meeting with the tribal elders, if you want to call them that. This is all subject to Mass General laws. We were basically crossing all of our T's and dotting all of our I's. One of the key things here, and I'm sure Ed and his group have had to have been aware of it. It requires and encourages consultation with tribal communities for any indigenous cultural property decisions. That's Mass General Chapter 6, Section 39A, Mass General Law Chapter 9, requires appropriate documentation, etc. Bottom line is Mass General Law, you have to bring in the tribes and they have the ultimate decision. And at this particular meeting that we had, a lot of information was presented to us by the tribal elders. This was not the only canoe. They have, their tribe, et cetera, has been at Comet Pond for quite a while, was brought out. And the options that they are discussing, as far as, before it can go any further towards our direction, is, number one, does the tribe want to repossess this? And they would have every right to do that. Number two, if the tribe wants to put it back into Comet Pond, they have every right to do that. And it would be like a ceremony for them, because it's a very sacred thing. So that, and number three, if they are willing to share it. So that, have we heard from them since we?
It's not to my knowledge, and I am CC'd on all of the correspondence
Yeah.
with Patricia.
But to be fully informative for you guys, I'm talking at that meeting, and you can back me up, Peter, if you want on this. The feeling certainly, if listening to the elders, et cetera, they're definitely leaning on, they want it.
Yeah.
As far as what they'll do with it, that's still to be determined, but the initial thing is they were very appreciative, very, very appreciative that we were brought them in. The museum had not done that, had not at all.
No,
And so they weren't even aware, and so they were very happy to hear that we opened it up to them, that we were thinking about this, because this was all new to them.
Yeah,
They
well,
got, you know,
not all new, because the historical guy on their committee,
oh, yeah, yeah.
okay, he had already been involved with this, with the museum for the past 2 to 3 years.
And
And he had already been there and looked at it, so they were already
But they-
involved with it.
But they got very little return from the museum out
Got
all
very
these
little
years.
from
They
it.
didn't, correct me, either one of you if I'm honest, but they didn't even realize that where it was being kept, like, in the storage closet. The
Correct.
tribe. So, the point being, they were really appreciative that we,
So-
Tricia brought this forward, and with all this information, and got them, and wanted them to be involved with us. So with the way it was left, is we're waiting to hear, because they had to contact the rest of their elders
Right, and they
to
had-
see,
yeah.
get the vote, if you will, I guess, in terms of what they wanna do. So the ultimate decision will be theirs. So it's not in our ballpark at all at this point. Bill Shea was at that meeting too. He offered, even at that particular point, he said he'd be honored to help them move it. Because he has the equipment, because he would be doing that if it was gonna come to us. And he offered to do that even if we weren't gonna get it. So that Bill is totally in on this as far as what Ed was saying. Again, it was my understanding at that meeting, because Bill was there, that for whatever couldn't make it. So this
Well,
is-
I don't want us to end up like some of the surrounding towns that have been sued due to artifacts.
That's why we dot the i's across
yes.
the t's.
Right,
We don't need a lawsuit, and that's what I was, like,
right.
I have
which
a lot
is-
of concerns about this whole thing, and I've already said this a bunch
But
of
we
times.
were doing the due
but, yeah.
diligence according to the Mass General laws.
Yeah.
For that very reason, to protect the town.
At one point, weren't we even discussing the fact, the validity of this actually being a Nipmuc artifact? Have we confirmed this is a Nipmuc artifact?
Well, if you listen to the tribal elders, they have quite a strong,
He verified that it was when he went and looked
Yeah.
at it. The historical guy on the Nipmuc tribe.
Oh,
So, and that's why he's been in touch, he's been at the museum and looked at it prior to us even going down there, or them going down to look at it.
because Peter brought up, I think it was you, brought up at the meeting.
I asked
that
him.
you had heard that
There weren't any
Nipmucs weren't even
in
at
this
Comic
area.
Con,
Right.
and he said, I correct you, and he said
He
you
corrected me.
very much so,
Yeah.
and that there could be a lot of other things there.
So the ball is in the tribe's court, and we're just waiting to hear from them what they want done with this particular outfit.
Exactly, the decision is theirs,
Yeah.
and legally, totally, we don't have a leg to stand on in that sense, we're still open to it, et cetera, we've done everything, we've crossed all of our Ts and our Is, and it's now up to the tribe. So,
Makes sense.
okay. Unless you have anything else you'd like to add on this, Peter, or anything?
Well, and, I mean, if it does end up with them, as far as I'm concerned, it should, if it's theirs. It'll be on display in Grafton, Massachusetts, which is not really that far away, if anybody really wants to see
So it would actually be back on display
That's what they said.
if they.
If they decide, or if they decide to sink it.
Yeah.
So
That
they
would
will
be-
vote on all that,
Yeah.
whether they wanna put it back where it was found.
Yeah.
That's their ball.
But
Yeah,
if they
build up.
keep it for display, it'll actually be shown on
Yeah.
like where it is right now, unceremoniously in a closet, basically.
Yeah, and they have a place for it to put it
Well,
in.
the tribe
there.
has a place for it.
They have a
That's why
place
Bill
for it.
offered, and he said I'd be honored to
Yeah.
take it there.
In
for you.
Grafton, yeah.
Okay.
Which
Good
is-
to know.
Yeah.
Are there any concerns about sinking it in the pond?
Of what?
It's their choice.
Well, I'm talking about environmental concerns.
It's wood.
That's where it came from.
I'm asking the question.
Well, it's,
Oh,
as far, it's an option for them, Chris, and I'm sure if they made that option, they would have to dot their T's and I's
yeah.
to be able to put it back in, but it's
Yeah.
very much what, the natives did. They do it anyway on a normal basis, or they did, so that the wood wouldn't dry out.
I mean,
So
that's
they
a-
could then take it out in the spring and use it. That
That
was
is
the
a
whole purpose.
DCR pond, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So they have to work it out with them.
Right.
yeah. Okay, all right, we'll move on, let me go through the consent agenda with everybody, and then if you have any holds, let me know, we'll go back over them. Will obviously be excluding David Holm, because we've already acted on that when we get to that, so I will skip his name. First of all, we have the minutes for August 4th. All of us were present to accept. Under administrative matters, we have the inspectional services coordinator job description to approve as presented, amended final draft for adoption, authorizes posting. The Eagle Scout Carson Brinker letter of a recommendation and commendation to authorize town administrator to prepare a letter of recommendation and commendation certificate on behalf of the board. He's going to be recognized at an Achievement Court of Honor on September 7th, 2025. Right of first refusal, 55 Hale Road.
I do have a question on this one.
Okay. Authorize select board to sign notice of non-exercise, formal declination under Mass General Law, Chapter C-61, send via certified mail to property owner. We'll come back to that. Under personnel and committee actions, Robert Duffy Lanciani has resigned, so we'll be accepting his resignation as building commissioner effective tonight. Skipping over David Holm, we also have to approve Robert Duffy Lanciani, assistant building commissioner as needed, excuse me, up to 5 hours a week at $35 an hour at the PC discretion. Linda Kristansky, approve her agricultural commission member. Term goes through 6/30/2026. Appointment recommended by agricultural commission. Are you Linda? Oh, okay. I saw you smiling, so I'm sorry. Okay, so are there any holds other than the one Katie mentioned on the right of refusal?
Yeah, I got a bunch of holds.
Okay, Katie, we'll deal with you first.
All right, I just want to make sure that this was gone through by the checklist with the open space.
Yep, they applied for the license as they are mandated to. It was sent in as a letter to the select board, open space, conservation, whoever they had
Yeah.
to, and no one was interested. It is a classic sale, like someone is selling their property.
But did
It's
they
not-
actually
it's
do
not
their,
connected
did they
to
use their new
anything.
checklist to go through it that they made?
Yes.
Okay, that's all, I was just making sure that was the whole point
It
of
was
that
more-
process.
It was more of just a back and forth with Rick.
Yeah.
But yes, they did.
So, to be clear, I mean, 55 Hill Road is just a home sale, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Does the town of Hubbardston get first right of refusal for every private property that goes up for sale?
Every
No?
chapter 61 property,
Okay.
which has a agricultural use tax incentive.
Okay.
And for that, you offer the right of first refusal to the municipality, the municipal jurisdiction, just in case it connects to something or could make a municipal project worthwhile.
Okay, on
Yep, I'm good.
that? Alright, Chris, you had a hold, where was that?
Inspectional Services Coordinator, is this a new position or is this a replacement position? Or
It's what we talked about 2 weeks ago, taking on the employee to fill both roles for Nancy at 30 hours and doing additional inspectional services work because we do have the warranted time. It is the replacement for 2 part-time jobs that we had a hard time filling.
Okay. And Carson Brinker,
Yep.
where, we wanna prepare a letter of recommendation for what?
He's an Eagle Scout.
So what do we recommend?
So when the boys become, and I know this because my son just was an Eagle Scout, or is an Eagle Scout. When the boys get their rank of Eagle Scout, they ask for letters to be sent on their behalf, and they usually, like the senators, state senators come and give them like a certificate, usually the town stuff gives them a certificate, and it's just congratulating them, saying a good job that they did this project, stuff like that. It's like an endorsement that they achieved the Eagle rank.
In the past, Jeff and I have just signed them, but I feel like these are important enough occasions to bring up at a select board meeting. I will likely write the letter just in nice verbiage, telling them to shoot for the stars and congratulate them on attaining the rank of Eagle Scout.
What was Carson's project?
He did it was for conservation. I read it, well, I read what it was.
Is it something that he did for the town of Hubbardson?
So, well, where is it in this thing? Now we gotta find it in this mess.
Would it be under
Just click his name.
checking his,
here, see Carson?
checking his name?
Click Carson.
I try it.
No, he's not even- I'm further down, hold on. This is further down. I gotta go way back up to the top, right?
No, I got it.
You got it?
I got, see what I can find by checking on it. Troop
There
4
you go.
Gardner,
Yeah.
okay. To whom it may concern, shall I read this?
Yeah.
Okay, the Boy Scouts of America proudly announce the award of Eagle Scouting highest rank to Mr. Carson Brinker of Troop 4 Gardner, Heart of New England Council, Massachusetts. The Eagle Award will be presented to Mr. Brinker at a formal court of honor ceremony conducted on September 7th, 2025 at the Trout Brook Recreation Area in Jefferson, Mass. Troop 4 invites you to send a letter of commendation to Mr. Brinker, or our 69th Eagle, as we are celebrating 87 years in scouting. Carson would truly be honored to receive a commendation letter from you. Mr. Brinker's Eagle project involved development and promotion of a community emergency program for the town of Hubbardston. He has served as a fine moral example for other young people within the community. His sense of pride, patriotism, can-do outlook, and community service has shaped him into a person deserving the honor. Please send your commendation to my address, etc.
So, yeah, so he did
The project,
the
the development and promotion of a
Community emergency program, but we don't know
community
what it
emergency
was.
program for the town of Hubbardston.
Was he working with Judy? Do you know?
I do not know.
Okay, that's my guess, because Morgan knows Judy well, so I'm guessing he was working with, I'm guessing now, I'm completely guessing.
Hey
I'm
Nate,
guessing
would
he's
you be able
working
to
with
find that
Judy.
out?
Yeah, can we find out what
Let
the
us know.
Eagle Scout project was and
Yes.
let us know?
But, by doing that, or are you gonna hold on this part of the consent agenda, not vote for that? For a letter?
I think we should hold it. Is there a time constraint?
Usually, yes.
I don't think we should hold on the letter.
No, I don't think we should
of
hold on it because
commendation.
it's gone to,
Goes to September 7th, and
Yeah.
you know, we can certainly try to find out more information, but he certainly deserved a letter of commendation, in my opinion.
Well, cause he did the work, cause or
Right.
else he wouldn't
You
get
know
the
what would be
email for it.
great,
Yeah.
Nate, and I don't know if Carson has time or if he's going off to school or whatever it is, but if he could stop and even remotely at our next select board meeting and just let us know what he did, we would be happy as well to thank him all in person for his great work once we know what that is.
Can we text his parents?
I
Would that be okay with you?
That would be a great idea, yeah.
Can we move forward with the letter, and then in the meantime, we'll arrange to see if he can join us at one of our next meetings?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, so, all right, if that's all, then could we have a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented?
I have no questions.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, no.
So we just spoke to David Holm, 15 hours a week, $50 an hour. But we're keeping on,
Mr. Lansing?
Duffy as needed, and that's
so he's
minimum.
resigning from being the official building commissioner, and he's gonna be what, an on-call?
Yes, because
Assistant
Mr.
building commissioner?
Lanciani currently has 19 hours. What I proposed to David was that he could have them all, or he could keep Duffy on for some hours if he was at work or an emergency. When presented to Mr. Lanciani, he agreed that that would be appropriate. I wanted to allow him that opportunity because of the type of just upstanding individual Mr. Lanciani has been, both as a building commissioner and as a human, while during my time working with him.
So a lot of
So
towns.
when Robert Lanciani, at who's BC, at BC discretion?
Building commissioner.
David Holmes.
So David Holmes will tell you when he no longer needs Robert Lanciani, or when Duffy decides he wants to be done with it. And at that rate, those 5 hours go into David Holmes' salary, but they increase to $50 an hour.
So I think two things. I think number one, at the end of the day, Nate has a solid budget of
Yeah,
how
we're
much they
staying
can
at
spend in that line.
$40,000 no
Right.
matter
Between
what.
the two people, regardless of how they split it.
Right.
A lot of towns will have an assistant or an alternate building commissioner for a couple of reasons. Number one, believe it or not, building commissioners take vacation. And
Right.
usually something will go down while they're gone, almost on clock. So it's always good to have the assistant or the alternate there to be able to cover. The second is because David is a full-time, already working the building department in Worcester, sometimes emergencies or other things will happen during the day that he may not be able to sneak away to, or someone really can't wait till a 6 o'clock inspection and they need something earlier. So at that point, he can actually contact Duffy directly or through Nate and have him go do the inspection. Some communities, the building commissioner will have an assistant and they'll do some of the day-to-day inspections to help cover. But at the end of the day, Nate has a solid budget number that he can't exceed. So the idea is that if David's doing the work, he's getting $50 an hour. If Duffy's doing the work, he's getting $35 an hour. At the end of the day, they can't exceed the total number. So one could work a little bit more, one could work a little bit less, and it will balance out.
Great information. Great anecdotes.
Question?
The question is, David Holm is going to decide with Duffy, because it's my understanding that Duffy wants to resign from this whole situation, right?
No. Duffy's resigning from the building commissioner, but wants to stay on as part-time as an inspector,
As needed,
as needed.
up to the building commissioner.
Yes.
I hate saying, if we're being honest, who knows if he's even gonna do the hours? Like,
Right,
they're,
I understand.
they're,
Yeah.
it's good to have a backup, seeing as there have been times in the past 2 years where we
Didn't
thought
have-
we wouldn't have a building commissioner at all.
At all, yes.
Like, so
It's
if,
not
if
costing anyone
anybody
money.
is interested in staying on the rolls, even for an emergency situation, I think we should take them up on it.
In perpetuity until David decides, or they decide together that he's not needed.
Well, usually we do appointments annually,
Yeah.
right? So
Okay.
right now, this would be essentially good until June 30th, 2026. And then we
Between
would redo.
health and busyness and just life in general, I don't know how long Mr. Lanciani will
Right.
be staying on, but if he can help us even a little bit, I think it's worth keeping him on.
Now remember, he's retired, so eventually, as I tell people, the retirees will eventually retire.
Eventually.
Yeah, it does happen.
Okay,
I'm living proof.
Can I ask you guys a question?
I'm good.
So for the last couple of months, I've been putting more things on the consent agenda to try to get them through. Should I not do that? Like, what's your opinion?
No, I think what you're putting on is fine.
Yes.
I think there's just gonna be some things. that-
By putting it on doesn't take away the power that we have just to be
ask
discussing it.
questions, yeah.
No, it's
So,
not.
no, I appreciate having it,
Rather than, going item for item, because I think that takes
because
longer.
we used to have a.
I wouldn't know this was happening unless I read it on here.
Yeah.
What,
Well,
the building commissioner or something?
yeah.
Well, in the past, it would.
Oh, no matter what,
we
it
would've
would
had
be
still
on the agenda.
application.
Just, it
No, I
would-
understand, but I didn't know we were getting a new building.
In the
commissioner.
past, we'd have to have their application,
Yeah.
we'd have to okay their rate,
The old way took longer.
and in some cases, it would be a 6-month waiting
Yeah.
period, all those things. This makes it much more streamlined, just simply, the other work has been taken care of, here it is.
Less red tape,
Right, yeah, exactly,
more transparent,
and faster to get through,
transparency.
so, at times.
Yeah, wow,
Anything
there's always gonna
else
be questions.
on this?
Thank you.
Okay, did we get it first and second?
No.
Okay, could we have a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Yes, opposed?
I will reach out to
Yes.
Mr. Brinker Jr. Mr. Brinker.
Son.
Eagle.
Yeah, well, yeah, the Eagle Scout.
Yeah.
He's actually got ruthless and strong.
Yeah, if you type up that letter for him, and then we hand it to him at the meeting.
It's temperamental here.
I'm like shivering so bad. I'm like freezing.
Are
Like,
you
is the
kidding me?
thermostat set like 40 in here? Like, oh my god.
Waiting for the sides.
I'm outside all the time. That's probably my problem. It's like AC is like, no. What are you doing?
What are you gonna do tonight when it's
Okay.
52 degrees?
Oh, I have a blanket.
Great
Kidding?
sleep.
I sleep with a blanket all summer, believe it or not.
Ugh.
And no AC. My husband's like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, lots of things.
Let's move to item 6, and in your folders, paper-wise, everybody, okay, we have our goals. So the select board strategic goals, review them, amend, adopt, et cetera, so.
Mr. Chairman, man, is there something that we could have helped you out with? Like, I just don't.
No, I was just, I'm the chapter 61 person.
Oh, okay.
Do you have anything
Oh, I'm
about
sorry.
55 Hale?
Do I what?
Okay, so you got everything you needed?
I think so.
Yes.
Done.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been through all the checks and all that stuff.
The other thing I just wanted to say is I'm gonna miss this town, what a great town you guys, it was really fun to be here, thank you.
Where are you
More
going?
important, where you headed?
Yeah.
South?
Sorry, no, I gotta go back to the city.
Oh,
Oh, why?
What city?
I know, the one to the east of us,
Oh,
you know,
how long have you been in town?
7 years. It's a beautiful place, and
Yeah.
the guy who's buying my house is gonna love it, he's really excited,
Yeah.
so.
That's good.
Nothing like a small
Sorry,
town.
I didn't realize that's what you were here for. I
Yeah.
apologize for not recommending.
No worries, no worries, no worries. Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
great
Have a
night.
good day.
I'll have Leanne get you that tomorrow.
Awesome, thanks, Nate.
Thank
All right, thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay, go ahead, Nate, if you would, please.
That's all back.
Yep. So thank you all for the meeting on July 15th. I thought it was a very good and informative meeting that set a good standard for the year. As I know you guys haven't enjoyed my very long presentations in the past, I boiled it down to 10 strategic goals. The FY26 strategic goals. I will pause at each one. I will not read the under part, and you guys can read the under part, and then we can talk about it. Each of the 10 goals below includes an introduction and 3 to 4 actionable objectives. They are now listed in priority order. They are not listed in priority order based on impact, urgency, or organizational alignment. Capital, facilities, and planning.
So as an overarching piece, so again, thank you so much for all this work, it's great working with the board when we did this and the goal setting session. My only concern is this is too much. This is too much to even hope to accomplish in a year. I think we need to wheedle it down. Now, we have some great projects going right now, and some things that are gonna span a number of years.
This is a number of years.
But,
I know
but,
that.
but the other thing is too, I wanna make sure that we're setting you up, Nate, for success, because ultimately, we will likely pull your goals from our goals. And if our goals are so far high in the sky, there's no way to manage them, there's no way you can. And my other concern is, I wanna make sure, and I'm sure we all do, that we're not tapping every resource we have and draining everything from them, just even from the goals, because you have a lot of staff, you have a lot of things going on, and these goals take us a little more in a focused direction than just the day-to-day operating pieces you guys already do so well. So I just wanna make sure, and I'm sure folks will agree on this, that we have very specific things we'd like to target this year. And we're not putting such a strain and stress on people that it's not accomplishable because there's too much.
I think we can do it.
I think historically, I've said stuff very similar to what Heather just said. I think you've got a lot on the list here. I applaud your ambition, I really do. But, you know, life goes on, and the reality of the situation, when you reconcile the bombs that come at you every day, the fires that you have to put out, and align those with the goals, you know, a handful, maybe half this many goals, of what we really talked about within the past year and what we want to get done this year, or at least get a clear path to, I think it would limit this list a little bit, and, you know, set a more focused,
And I'm okay with that.
specific.
I purposely went very broad because, as you know, when I told you, when this works, I like to do things in 3-year sets, because what you plant now comes to grows later.
Yeah.
So by moving in specific directions, it makes things easier. A lot of the sub-bullets are connected very, very closely.
But is there the opportunity to do a deep dive in fewer of these
Yeah,
goals? And limit the 3-year time frame to maybe 1,
All right.
or 1.5, or 2? And I'm not saying we have to do that now or tonight, or discuss that tonight, but I've historically said, I think, you know, I love your ambition, but I think you're putting too much on your plate and being pulled in too many different directions to try to accomplish all these goals, when if you could do, you know, a handful of them in less time and drill down in the limited free time you get to accomplish those goals, I think you'd be a happier person and
So,
do
in
a
my
better service.
suggestions, then, we keep 1, 2's kind of buzzwordy.
What word salad?
So here's the thing, so folks listening at home, I just wanna make sure, and everyone at this table understands, right? So for instance, third bullet point number 1, which is package shovel-ready projects for Community One Stop, Mass Works, which is often part of Community One Stop, USDA, and CPA funding, alright? So any one of these projects, right, whenever you used to think of Mass Works, you're thinking of someone sitting down at a computer and working on this project for like 40 hours, right? Then, should you get that project, it's usually a large dollar sum. So now you're dealing with consultants, procurement, grant management, administration, everything else. So I think it's really important for us always to keep in mind that, you know, as much as we love getting grants, and that's fantastic, and we definitely wanna do this as much as we can, it's not just free money, right? Like, we're losing staff time to administer the grant. We're losing staff time to work on that project and take away from something else, which is okay, and that's gonna
Right.
happen, but we wanna make sure that we're prioritizing these pieces and not just saying everything's priority. Like, number 2 is very,
And that just,
very,
can I just jump in?
No,
I mean,
sure.
and if we get the grant of all grants, and it's gonna give us a ton of money to do one of our high priority projects, yes, what Heather just said, absolutely. Spend that time, put those resources to that grant, and let's get after that one. But, you know, if it's not something specific and we don't really have a great opportunity, maybe we focus on something else.
but even like this one, which I love that it's specific, but submit 6 to 8 grants tied to capital, ADA, tech, energy, and housing. What else are you gonna do for the next 365 days?
Sure.
Like, you get 2 of these and you're tied for I think, again, these are all great ideas, and I think maybe we figure out a way to work on this a little bit over time to move it into more of a strategic plan for the town.
Yes, that's where I
Yes.
was gonna go. Can I have one more meeting to put together 5 SMART goals, grand totaling 2 pages in length?
Yes.
Well, also,
Well-
if you're thinking about the tuning and on those SMART goals, if you can also focus on, you know, really look inside and also talk to your team about and say, how much time does this actually take us to do? Because, you know, if you look at the SMART goal and you say, okay, well, 6 to 8 grants tied to this stuff, and it's totally doable, I can totally do it, okay, great, but what are you not gonna be able to do if you're doing that? Or what is someone else gonna have to pick up if you're doing this and an emergency comes up, right? Like, we just wanna make sure that we're also supporting you and giving you what you need to be successful, and then ultimately, we can be successful as well in the town, but we wanna set up for success.
Well, can't we?
And if we don't wanna, and if you're writing a long shot grant that's taking up, you know, we got a 20% chance of getting, which I'm not necessarily saying you would do, I mean, maybe you should focus on a different goal instead of, you know, tying yourself to 6 to 8 grants and say, well, I said 6 to 8 grants, so I gotta write, you know, this grant to give me number 8, but you really don't have a chance, I mean, you know, that would be a waste of time.
So, yes, Peter, you could probably use Jennifer to write some
Yeah,
of those
capital
grants,
strategic solutions,
But-
farm it out.
but writing the grant isn't the whole shebang,
No,
right?
it's,
The worst
you
part is
have
when they say you
deadlines.
get it.
If you get it, now you have deadlines, and you need this paperwork, you need
Now you
that
have to do
paperwork.
procurement, now you
Right.
have to administer the
There's
grant,
a
now
lot
you have
to
to
it.
administer the procurement piece, now you have to do the paperwork and the file, so, yes.
But aren't
But,
they
yes.
a grant manager? Don't they handle that?
So to a tune,
Yeah, it costs money, obviously.
Without grant funding the back end of that, we would never in a million years use them as a grant manager. That's too expensive.
Right, well,
It would probably cost half of that.
so, but, I mean, if you wanna do something like that, say, hey, we wanna look at 6 grants that are very important for our town, let them go at it. You know, that takes it off your chart, but if you get the grants, now it's gonna go, oh shit, pardon my language.
so, I mean, I'm in board with Nate's thoughts of coming up with five things, single bulleted, no compound sentences.
Oh, you're gonna see this paper again.
Well,
When I come
even-
back with it, just.
Yeah, but even, I'm not saying, he doesn't, yeah, like some of this, if he just like held off on like 1 or 2 of these items, I think it'd be a little bit less, I'm all for lofty, don't get me wrong,
I wrote
I
this-
I don't
shoot
wanna-
for the
I don't
stars,
want-
but it's gotta be,
I wrote this
I don't want
6
somebody
weeks
to,
ago.
but I also don't want somebody to use it against you either, saying, well, you didn't,
You know, I
get your
would,
stuff done.
I would disagree with that, because I think, these are all things that we need, right? They're all
Exactly.
legitimate things we
They are,
need.
absolutely.
Are they goals? No.
There it is.
I don't want you to say, I'm holding off on this particular grant, and then have something that slides through the door that fits that opportunity perfectly, and you say, well, I held off on that, right? These are
Oh,
living,
yeah,
breathing things, right?
Government is not as stringent as
They're made-
goals.
They're made to be, you know, massaged and changed and prioritized and unprioritized as life comes at you. So,
Why don't you make it a wish list?
Yeah, I will, this is going to help us in the future. I will boil it down a little bit.
Because if you remember, we've had that originally, overall view of this came from us to
But
begin with,
To be
stating what we
completely
wanted
honest,
to do. And he's just elaborated more on it, but these were the goals that came out of our discussions, so.
I'm likely gonna send it to you very, very early because we don't have a single minute to spare at the September 2nd meeting. There is so
Long.
much going on.
To take a nap
at the
beforehand.
September 2nd meeting.
So why don't we do it at the meeting after September 2nd?
yeah, what's the rush on
Give
these?
some time.
There's no rush.
Because
Well,
some of
It's
these,
because the year's slipping by real quick, because we did these in
Snow's coming.
July.
Bring it on.
Just saying.
Well, we've had to
But-
postpone
There's
discussing these
exactly-
because of other things that.
And
Exactly.
who's to tell us what a
Precedence.
year is anyway?
True,
so-
but usually we do it on the fiscal.
We
So-
and Nate own these, we can do these and focus
I
on these or
understand.
put them on the
Yep.
back burner, how we see fit.
I'll bring something
Just
back
because we
up
talked about
either
this in
next
July
time
doesn't mean anything.
or the time
All right, then, so we won't do any further actions
after.
on
In
these,
general, I will work in that direction.
okay?
Like, that's the direction.
and I think just to reiterate what KP had said, which I think is, you have a basic direction of what we've talked about, so you know if something comes up, you already know you're gonna look towards something or what have you. You don't have to wait until it's in the top 5
Right.
to apply for when
Oh,
it
I
comes
know
through,
that.
but I also just wanna make sure, you know, at least from my seat, that I'm stressing that, you know, it is at least not my expectation that you're going to apply to every single grant that comes through. Like, you have to make sure it makes sense, and also, like, I love the grant calendar, but that's insane, Nate. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 things on the grant calendar. Most of them have like 3 or 4 items to them.
As long as they're free.
Yeah, but here's the problem, is even with the free part, right, is just keep in mind that it takes time from you, it takes time from your staff, you know, it takes other resources and so forth to do them, and just make sure you know that it makes the best sense of your time to do it.
You don't wanna burn all this staff. Staff burn up.
If,
Otherwise, thank you so much for putting this together for us.
Yeah. Above and beyond.
if implementing every new system during a move didn't break our staff,
Yeah, I thought it was got a couple times. It's like, oh god.
I think we've got one of the best crews we've had in a long time, so.
Let's not test those waters, though, shall we?
Yeah, we don't wanna test it.
alright, so I will bring that back soon.
Did we specify, or are we just leaving that up to this?
Not
Leaving it up
September
to-
2nd.
We're
Okay,
leaving it to
fine.
Nate to
So let's move to
figure
the
it out.
next, under old business, the Meeting House Preservation Committee charge. Simply, what we're being asked to do here is to adopt the idea of a committee and kick it around how many people we feel should be on it, and then to move to adopt the committee.
Please note that the entire proposal, while I think is okay, is draft language, obviously. So if you think it should be different people or differently structured, have a conversation, and whatever you say, I'll put on the document. And we'll advertise it so that we can bring the group to not the September 2nd meeting.
Yes, not
So, any feelings on this?
I gotta find it, what,
The second item under old business, the second item under old
You
business.
go up to the agenda, you can click on the words, and I'm popping out to it.
The yellow part is what is
Yeah,
the.
go up a little bit more. Gone right. Did you
Oh, I
also
didn't know
here?
that. Oh,
Yeah.
Click.
cool.
Yep,
You got it. You're there, up a
Bring
little
it
more.
Thanks, Nate.
Yep.
quick.
So I guess my thing on this, right, is I think these are all great things, you know, you have conduct a historic resource assessment, engage stakeholders, develop use plan, lead grant CPA application efforts, support fundraising, recommend phase preservation plan. I think it's too much.
I could tell, right?
I think, you know, and not to say that this
Yeah.
committee won't evolve over time, but I think, you know, we need to try to keep people very focused on what we're looking for. And if the first thing is, you know, we're looking for them to do a historic resource assessment, then we say, you know, right now we're looking to see X number of people and here's the mission of
If-
your group.
If you guys could pick the membership, I am comfortable promoting that we are going to be making the board and bringing the final charge to you at a later time.
Okay.
Like, we can promote the existence of the board and to get applicants.
So you're looking for,
Scroll to number 3 and you'll see what's suggested.
And then I will bring a final draft.
so you're looking for 7 committee members?
Well, it's up to us, really.
Yep.
Yeah. These are just suggestions.
Can't even get anybody to fill the ones we got.
It can be 5. 3 is a little too few.
No, 3 is way too few.
Yeah, I like 5.
Yeah.
I think we do, I
5.
concur. I think we could do 5 and then, you know, if all of a sudden you get 20 applications, cause everyone in there,
Yeah, we can
friends wanna
increase
be
it.
on it.
Yeah. I think
I
5's a
think
good
you're
number.
gonna get some impressive turnout for people who would wanna be on this committee.
So should we, let's say 5, and then if there are more, we can
I don't care
expand
what the
it?
number is, so long as it's flexible, yeah.
Should one of you be on it? Like,
No.
that's where you have to know. Like,
Well, I think sometimes, you know, we try to get involved in a lot of pieces, but I think sometimes it's better if we're the body that they bring the information to and make a
Right.
recommendation.
And
then-
technically, ex officio, we're all members of everything. We can attend any of them
Yeah.
that we want.
Well, yeah, you can always attend them and sit if you wanna listen to it.
Right, well, so I mean, in that
Yeah.
sense,
you can always make them aware that they can ask any one of us to come and attend at any time.
Unless the feeling of the board
Yeah.
is, do you want someone on there? That's
Yeah.
entirely,
So what,
Certainly.
so what if we just say the committee shall consist of at least 5, and then just say the remainder at-large residents after the first 3? And theoretically, if someone doubles as a resident and in one of these categories, we can always use them as a resident.
what do you mean, the first 3? What are you talking about?
So, one member historical
As
commission.
stated here, okay,
Yep.
alright,
So each of those prongs, right, so historical commission, historic preservation, construction, architecture related field, and a rep from local civic or cultural organization. So we have those 3, and then everyone else needs to be, a resident. The
So-
first 3 don't necessarily have to be the way we have this.
So, so that being the case, then 5 will easily expand. If we're
5
down,
would, yeah.
if we're down to,
I agree
residents
there.
at large, it'd be more than 2.
So you're
Should we
looking
s-
for one specific resident, who has experience in historic preservation,
Mhm.
and then 4 at-large residents, and they can be with any skill sets.
Yep.
And do they all have to be residents?
Your charter makes sure of
Yes,
that.
it has to be.
So you might wanna just clarify that in the 3rd point. The first point's gonna be apparent, because if you can't be on the historical commission without being a resident, then that's already checked.
Yeah.
Well, if we stick with the numbers, then that's written there, that's really built for a committee of 7.
Right.
So maybe we should keep it at 7 and see if we get it.
I would like,
I would, yeah, I wouldn't wanna limit it to any number at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Alright.
It's built for 7, so,
I would just, my opinion would be, I would say shall consist of 5 or more.
Right, I like that.
that's 5 or more, okay.
And then we'll just keep it to an odd number based on how many, if we get in 20 people, then
I'm gonna-
fantastic, let's start our interviews.
I'm gonna be relatively vague with the outreach anyway, so.
Well, if you, the thing is if you get too many, then the quorum's too high. And
True.
it's hard, and it's also hard to get that many voices to land on one subject. When you have large room,
Maybe,
there's a lot of opinions.
At the town meeting, there was a woman there who was very up on historic, I hope she applies.
Well, we shall see.
I do have her contact
Did you,
information on that.
maybe you wanna reach out to her, cause I think that would be quite wide.
How do you
She
say
seemed
5
quite
or more?
educated.
At least 5, yeah.
I think she's on
At
Bergen-
least 5, but
Bergen
should we
Street.
limit the outer number?
No, not
No,
at this
because
point.
we can
From
make that
Katie's point of
decision.
view, I mean, if you get a committee of 10 people, now you got a
I'll
huge
post the
quorum. you
agenda.
gotta
Well,
have.
if it becomes unmanageable, we'll rely on the committee to tell us that, right?
Or we don't have to appoint more than 5.
They can be like people that go.
Yeah, I would just put it out there without even a number and then
Yeah.
see what you get for applications, and you
Yeah.
gotta appoint
5 or
people.
more, okay.
So we'll move past this one for now, June.
Alright, then could we, have a motion to adopt the committee
Nope.
charge as presented? Huh?
Nope.
What?
I'm gonna, as we discussed, I'm going to
No.
present and come back with a finalized charge
Oh, okay, alright.
that is less in scope.
Okay, passing that one.
Always the button to return to the agenda.
Scroll a little. It's usually the first page for every
Okay.
couple more.
So, let's get back to
No,
the
it's
agenda. This is so easy, it's
Oh,
great.
Jeff has figured it out.
I just spoke too soon.
Oh,
I'm returning to
Click,
agenda,
yeah,
it's
you-
not clicking.
click on
Yeah,
the
I'm
thing.
clicking it,
Clicking
there we
on
go. I had to find the yellow.
I am.
The one that turns yellow.
No, there's no yet color.
Okay, what I do on the side.
It's worked all night long, and
Control
now
I
it's
I
not.
can cheat, just
Yeah,
way up there.
that's what I
Control
do.
home.
That's what I do too.
I just click on the thing on the side and make it spin all the way up. No, right, watch this.
Or just hit control home.
See this?
Cause this is
Click
work,
on it,
this
nope.
has worked for me all night long.
See where the thing is? And then I just fling it all the way up.
Oh.
But I've just been clicking on the return to agenda,
Yeah.
and it has on everything so far.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, a few
Now
of
it's
them-
it's
a
not
few-
working.
A few of them didn't work, I had to go up to.
Oh.
Just control home, Katie. Control and then home.
There you
Control,
go. No, I just fling up.
We're there, we're there.
Okay. Fling it up.
New business.
What are we on?
New business now, okay, first item, debt authorization preliminary official statement to determine the useful lives of the finance assets, authorize town council review of litigation statement, confirm contract disclosure language, etc. That's required under Mass General Law, Chapter 44, accurate bond disclosures, part of borrowing compliance with the POS. Nate?
The suggestion here is fire truck with a 25-year term of life, expected term of life, brush mower with a 10, and plow truck with a 20. And the remainder is simply legal paperwork.
Would you say fire truck was what? Sorry.
Are those numbers we came up with? Where'd those numbers come from?
Those are the suggested numbers from Travis Mary and the debt council.
Okay.
So,
fine.
unfortunately, we never get ahead, because that truck's life's probably 25 years, the one we're buying, so it's just a
The
constant.
plan would not be to borrow for the entirety of the set line.
Oh, we're gonna
Oh,
borrow
okay.
under it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you have to set how long the use
We're gonna
is.
finance it
okay.
for 10 years, but we're
Okay,
gonna use it for
that's fine.
25
I
years.
thought that was the
That's
borrow
fine.
time.
That
No,
sounds
No,
good to me.
okay.
That's
I
the
apologize.
useful life of the experience of the item,
How
because
long?
it's used in the calculation
Okay.
of figuring out the number and
Excellent.
how long an entity can borrow
Okay.
on it.
Okay.
Because you can't borrow for 10 years something with a useful life of 5.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Okay.
Well, you probably can, but you shouldn't.
Why would you want to?
Any questions on this? Okay, we need a motion to determine useful life, authorize the town council review and confirm contract language for POS.
So moved.
Can I second that with a friendly amendment?
Yes.
And just say, to adopt the recommended, thank you, useful lives as the had proposed.
Fire truck, 25 years, brush mower, 10 years, plow truck, 20 years.
So moved.
Good, so that's part of the whole amendment. It's
Yep.
moved in second. Could you read the motion now as we understand it, that we're going to be talking on or voting on? Anybody?
I think there was a motion to determine the useful life of the financial assets being Nate.
Once again,
Fire truck, 25 years.
25 years for the
brush
fire
mower,
truck,
10
brush,
years.
20 years for the plow
Plow
truck,
truck,
10 years for the brush mower.
Okay.
Authorize town council to review the litigation statement and confirm contract disclosure language.
okay, everybody understand that? Okay, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Mr. Chair, can we skip the next item?
Skip the next item? Okay, so we'll move, last item of the new business, host community equity. Turn it over to Nate on this.
Not that big.
I just need to know what you guys want me to do. Because
I would like you to
What
take
are our
over the CCC.
file the document that they want us to file,
Who's they?
the Triple C, the Cannabis
Cannabis.
Control Commission.
They don't even know what they're doing.
Click on the link.
They're a
It'll drop
mess.
you down.
Yeah, I know. Told me that.
Yeah, they were on the news again the other day
Really
about
don't
how
think
they're
you-
still a hot mess.
Did you read the auditor's report?
Yeah, that was what was on the news.
Or we could change it a little bit and submit it, or I can create a list of equitable things that we do. Like, I think we do have enough equity amongst our organization, especially with the expedited effort in e-permitting and all of that stuff. That does create a decent amount of equitable.
And can't you say that we've already approved an equity type business in town for that purpose?
So,
Is that what they're looking for?
is it possible that the easiest way to not have this be a nightmare is just to review their recommended bylaw and to make modifications, and good news, we can't do anything till our next town meeting.
Yep.
So if you go to their piece, I think it's their second one, they gave an example, I don't know if it's on that page, so it's higher up.
No,
But you
different
can,
language.
keep going.
I see stuff in 9 different languages.
Yes, like,
Go up a little.
I was like, whoa.
Our track
Bylaw.
record of changing things and sending them to them expecting passage is not high.
Okay, so maybe what we can do is we can look at their proposed, see if KP Law has had any comments on the proposed. And if they recommend it and we don't have any major issues with it, then we just pursue this at the fall town meeting, because why do we have to keep spending money on this?
We're not getting anything from Timron. That's
True.
Okay. Yet,
Is everyone okay with that
Only been
idea?
5 or
We
6
talked,
years.
haven't we talked about this time and time again?
This is just part of their fire.
Well,
I
host
will
agreements is our happy place.
No, it is not. No,
No?
no, no, it is not.
So it sounds like, you know, based on what Nate's saying and based on our past experience, that it might be easiest if we review the model bylaw and hope there's nothing super offensive in it. To us.
I will review the model
If
model
we
bylaw
or
during the
KP.
next meeting.
Well, KP Law, if this is coming out with the model here, they're likely gonna issue a position statement from KP Law to all of the towns, so we wouldn't theoretically have to pay for anything, cause we can just get their standard, here's our opinion of this.
Having gone through this whole charade a couple of times now, I'm pretty certain that the legal counsel would say, they can't do that, I don't know why they think they can do that, and then we would say, oh, thank you, legal counsel, and then they would still send us emails and letters telling us to do things.
Well, okay, so what exactly happens if we just ignore them for the, does this screw like Bowie, or like, does it, like, what does this do?
Nothing in here makes me think that there's an immediate threat to Bowie or anyone.
Okay.
And I can't imagine that all 351 cities and towns in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts were rigorously responding to this email. So,
Maybe we can check with some of our counterparts on STAM or.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, cause the CCC is such a hot mess, I don't want, and our legal counsel is telling us to do something different. As long as we are not hurting our our one business in town that is trying to do good, then the CCC can go pound sand,
I will
in my
review
opinion.
further to make sure
Sorry.
that there's no impact and bring a suggestion forward. And your next meeting is on September 2nd. It's due on September 1st, which is Labor Day, so we'll be fine.
is just host communities have to do an equity plan with the state?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't tell you before you approved the thing, did they?
Oh, they didn't come up with those rules yet.
Right, well now
No,
they change them
just-
as they go.
They change them, they
They
do whatever
change-
they
they
want,
change
they're gonna
everything
change it
every
again.
year.
It could probably
They
change
don't know.
again, cause the old regime's gonna be gone.
It'd be hard for us
anyways.
to tell you
I
what.
will review that.
And this costs us money because we gotta go to a lawyer for this, correct?
Well, no, Nate's gonna
Okay.
look at it.
Is it back chargeable if we have to pay fees for this?
Not necessarily, because this isn't about them.
Well, yes, it is.
Not about specifically about.
Not
Yeah.
specific.
Not technically, but it is. If they weren't here, we wouldn't have to do this.
Well, yeah, but
Even if we had no active host community businesses, we would still be sought to do this by the
Do that
Cannabis Control
E-word?
Commission.
By the state, yeah.
your favorite word, equity.
I got a lot of research to do, and I'm bringing a lot of things
Oh,
back,
Jesus.
so.
Sorry.
Okay, so we'll pass
Still
it
got
back to you.
Still got it.
Okay, so that ends the new
Along with
business.
Along with everything else going on.
Let's move on to the TA report.
I sent out a big, long TA report, you should read it, people have been liking it. Instead of sending out 100 documents, I'm gonna try to send out quarterly longer reports. So, things are going really well. Mary and Sarah went to treasurer school for a week. Thank you all for attending and giving good graces at the barbecue that we had. I'd like to thank Tricia, Katie, Peter, all of you for bringing food and doing that. I know it's just something small, but it really does.
And nobody got sick from my
Go a
cooking.
long way. Nobody told you.
Yeah.
Nobody told me they got sick.
From
I've been meaning to talk to you.
by the way.
Yeah.
No, I didn't mean
Ah,
that.
okay.
Thank you to Tricia for making those bags.
Yeah.
Those were fabulous.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
I hold my
Yeah.
Aldi stuff just fine.
That's yours.
That's also where I brought my bag.
That's
So-
for you.
Mine went there directly after.
Oh.
I gave mine right to my, wait
But
to the
Katie has
wife.
decided it will be indoors from now
Yes,
on
it's gonna
because
be
of the
indoors,
flies.
I can't do that.
And that's
It's like traumatic.
Any
They were not
questions
at my
on
house
anything?
on the weekend.
The RFP for the trash is due on the 26th. The sand pit meeting is on the 26th.
Is there gonna be a remote aspect to the
Yes.
sand pit? Okay.
There is.
And there's gonna be reminders sent out, right? Ted just, okay.
Cause we'll be out of town. I already got in trouble for scheduling vacation during the sand pit meeting.
Me
How
too.
dare
I'll be
you.
out of
You
town.
didn't ask anyone
Chris
about the
too
sand
will be
pit
out.
meeting.
I did not ask anybody when I booked our vacation, can you imagine?
How dare you?
That is all I have if anyone has any questions.
Well, it won't be anything new, like where you're gonna be in the car, we'll be watching
Well, on the September 2nd one, we'll probably be going to Chicago again like we did last time.
Great,
So
Yeah,
you'll
yeah.
be able to,
good stuff.
in the back.
I'll show you the pizza we're eating that day.
Okay. I'll move it free stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so our meeting on the second, you won't be here either?
Correct.
Okay.
Might be via phone.
The CDBG mortgage discharge is a 20-year-old CDBG grant project with a resident of the town of Ashby, and it has been 20 years, and they just want to discharge it and have it be over.
Leave.
Is that something we've already, is that the
Right.
document we got emails about?
Yeah,
It's
you guys
been
already-
signed?
you guys already signed
Yeah,
it.
we took care of that, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so, anything more on the TA
I
report?
believe there is a motion needed, motion to sign the mortgage discharge of the lien for Shafi Mir.
So moved.
Second.
All right,
Glad you're making motions.
I thought we were still on the town administrator report, so.
We're all
Now
over the
you're
place.
not reasonably anticipated by the chair, right?
That would,
Right there.
yeah, sorry.
Right.
Correct.
I'm jumping still.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
doing stuff, that's okay.
All right.
Needs
All right, let's take care of
more.
this motion first, and then we'll
Okay.
back up just a little bit. Okay,
Take one tab down. Take one tab down.
Right there. This is the one you got an email about the other
Yeah,
day.
yeah,
just
yeah,
so
yeah.
you
take
can
one.
sign. Okay,
Oh,
That's, we have, we're still on the other thing.
motion
We're
here.
still on the other thing. I know, Nate's,
Yeah.
Nate's skipping, he's jumping.
So Katie had made a motion to approve
Right,
this, because
yeah.
we've already signed it, but it's just to discharge it, the gentleman lives in Ashby.
Yep.
And it's just
Second.
roughly
motion made in second. No more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Chris is
Motion
following
passed.
along down there, Heather.
Before we go to item A, let's just, I'm assuming we have no policies to review, correct?
This time.
All right, now matters not reasonably
Okay.
anticipated,
Now we can go
item
on.
A, and that's what we just got paperwork on.
I'm like, what the hell am I reading?
Thank you, sir. What I just handed out is a disclosure of appearance of conflict of interest form. It is what I am, no disclosure for you, Peter.
Do you need one?
No, not if there isn't enough.
Sure, you can share.
Do you need one?
Nope.
Okay.
I turned it in with Mel, I am required to do it. It states what I would like to do. In accordance with my contract, I am coming to ask you guys if I can do a limited amount of outside consulting work, up to 10 hours a week, based upon the frameworks and municipal automation documents that I have written in my own free time. I will not do any of it. I have 2 laptops, 2 cell phones, like, I have told all of you several times how kind of scared I am of the ethics commission, so you don't gotta worry about that side. I feel like I have plenty of time, and that this is something that if I do not at least take this opportunity, I will regret it when I am older.
How many hours are you expecting this will take up?
8 to 10, I've already written my library of frameworks.
Okay.
So as of now, I would just need to talk about them.
Okay. And do you have, I know you were working on, I don't think I saw it come through, but maybe I missed it, a more firm schedule for your time for the town, so that, you know, when you're doing this, you're not theoretically on
this on Friday afternoons and at
Nights and weekends, probably.
yeah, nights and weekends. Like I am the happiest I've ever been in my life. Like I have no intention of doing anything that would jeopardize this. I just, as I stated, need to give this a shake. It is completely different from that of Hub Connect, being the Hub Connect is the town's owned thing, town's owned flows, town's owned things. It is the embodiment of the work we have done. We are getting an embargoed award for it. I will send you guys an email soon. But long story short, I dug so far into something that I kind of came out the other side. And I would like,
Pooped it out.
and I would like the opportunity to explore for between 8 and 10 hours a week at night and on the weekends what this could mean for me as an individual.
Just out of curiosity, how long are you gonna be doing this? Like a year, 2 years, 3 months?
The initial pilot would be with, if I can get it, would be 3 towns. It is my intent to have a backup consulting business for the rest of my career. I really enjoy the municipal framework side of stuff and being the person that understands both languages, because that is essentially what I'm doing. I'm teaching government how to talk to GovTech and GovTech how to talk to government. It's something that has existed in the public sector for years and years and years.
Okay. So you're looking to do this for like 8 to 10 hours for life, basically? Little side hustle.
Unless it fails.
Unless it sucks, so then forget it.
I mean, you're not doing it on town time.
No,
No.
sir.
No,
My contract
Frankly, you're just coming
obligates-
here as a courtesy, and you're contractually obligated to tell us that this is what you wanna go do.
Mhm.
and it
Okay?
requires a
As
motion
far
on
as
our
I'm
part.
concerned, for me, it ends there.
Yeah, your time is your time, as far as I'm concerned.
I was just curious if it was like a 3-month thing or long term, and, you know, like if he's gonna turn in side
A lot of
hustle.
people
It
work full-time and have a
could be
part-time
long
job.
term, it could be short term, I could wake up tomorrow and
Be
it could
like,
be
I'm
over.
done,
Right.
done.
The fun part for me about all this is it is incredibly low risk. I am happy, healthy, and thriving. I don't need any of this. I am choosing to try to help others.
If there are no objections, we do need a motion on this, and let me read it, because it's pretty lengthy.
Oh, boy.
Go for it.
Could have made it short, huh?
No.
Move that the board approve the town administrator's request to engage in limited outside professional services as disclosed under general law, chapter 266A, was that 268? 268A, excuse me, not to exceed 10 hours per week, conducted outside of town time and without use of town resources, and to confirm that such work does not present a conflict with the duties of the town administrator.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made and second. Any further discussion or questions for Nate? All in favor? Yes. Opposed? Motion passed.
There you go.
Thank
Can you
for-
cut my grass once a week too?
I have to ask my appointing authority.
No.
Let me.
No, he's not allowed to do that.
You know, that's a good segue that you just said there, Peter.
Uh-oh.
Are we on matters not reasonably anticipated?
We are. Here we go.
I wanna talk about our sidewalks, our new sidewalks. that
There's
we
grass
have.
growing.
Oh, the weeds?
Yeah, I
It's
wanna
driving
talk
me nuts,
about the
too.
weeds on the side. Why, have we talked about this?
No, but it's driving me
I
nuts too.
saw him the
I'm
other
right
day.
there
Drives
with
me
you.
nuts, and it's a pet peeve of mine.
Yes, it's super.
So my
is.
question is, who in town, if anybody, is responsible for taking care of that?
The 2 guys that don't work here anymore.
Oh, well, that's
Who are
helpful.
The two DPW guys went out in the last couple of weeks. I am very proud of the work our 3-man DPW is doing this summer,
Yeah.
and will mention that the sidewalks need some loving.
Yeah. Well, I saw the
With
cemetery guy on the
Right.
lawnmower today.
Round up,
All he had to do was at least
And
mow
we
him down.
With
also
that
are
being-
waiting on the finalization of what's going on with the sidewalks from
I
the
understand, but
state.
that could be forever
So
and a day.
That may be forever, yes.
With that in mind, and the understanding that, you know, the DPW is up against it, what would the implications be if a charitable organization in town volunteered some hours to take care of the sidewalks?
That would likely be one of those things where you become voluntold really quickly. So the volunteer organization would have to make sure that they want to do it for more than just once. And other than that, I don't
Just
think.
spray it with
Spray it with weight
Would there
killer.
be anything, you know, safety concerns that you might wanna clear with Chief Kuchar before something like that got brought back?
On the sidewalks.
Yeah, wear a green vest.
I mean, you know, the sidewalks go all the way down the hill here
right.
and, you know,
They
there
do
would be
blend
some
with the grass.
weeds where the edge
Traffic.
hits the road.
If I know one of the department heads, like I think I do, the sidewalks won't have grass anymore very, very soon.
Okay.
Like, so, like,
Leave it as an
a
option.
couple of the departments listen to these meetings.
Okay.
So,
So,
We'll keep it
Plan
as
B,
an
I'll
option,
keep
Chris.
Plan B on hold
Yeah.
and see how the DPW.
Yeah.
well, cause those weeds growing in the cracks, here's the problem, is they will blow it out. They will ruin it.
Expand, right.
Yeah, they will ruin the sidewalk
Well,
very
it's just
quickly.
unsightly. Bottom
That-
line is
that
it's
too.
unsightly.
I
We got
noticed it
beautiful-
today.
We got beautiful new sidewalk.
No,
It's a
it's
pet peeve,
gone.
I go through, believe me, on my commute to work, it makes me nuts the whole way to work. It's something I'm working on, I'm getting there, but for the past 3 years, it's been a pet peeve.
Okay. Anything else? If not, public press, assume nothing.
You just missed us?
Mike, you came in late, do you have any questions?
No, I actually did read the agenda, but I just couldn't make it here.
Okay,
I have something for Katie.
Oh, okay.
I have to close the business.
so, before we have the, motion to adjourn, just, our next meeting is September 2nd. That's a Tuesday, I believe, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
2025.
It'll be a little bit early because we're gonna do the ceremonial signing then.
So what time would, 6 o'clock?
6 is what I asked.
So 6 o'clock on the 2nd as opposed to 6:30, everyone?
That's the next meeting.
Across the way.
Yeah,
Oh,
You'll have to hold your phone up and I'll watch.
Is the-
across the way, where?
Is the first the holiday?
yeah, the first
Yeah,
is
the
the
first is the
holiday.
holiday.
So-
It'll be, we will make sure you know.
Okay.
It'll be-
So we're gonna go over there and
Yeah.
then come here?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
You should probably just park here and walk up if you
Walk over,
can.
yeah.
All
We're
right.
gonna sign over there,
Over where?
at the
The
meeting
church.
house. No, meeting house,
No.
not church.
Yeah.
Meeting
We're gonna
house.
celebrate the transfer of the property.
Oh, that's next week, then,
Yeah,
the
not
second?
the second, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
We're doing the official sign.
That being?
On the second.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the
At
It
6
was,
o'clock.
it was supposed to be tonight, but Trish isn't. she's
Barry
on
Gazette, can I
vacation,
be
so-
there to
I'm
take
good. We're-
pictures?
We're gonna invite everybody. I'm hoping Tricia wears a historically accurate
I'm
costume.
sure she will.
That's her passion.
She's working on it, I'm sure, right now.
She's probably gonna make it, so.
She probably will, that's fine. It'll be awesome.
And that meeting will also have a joint appointment of a QRSD, Cobham Regional School District representative, potentially a joint appointment of a Board of Health member, and potentially a joint appointment of a Parks Commissioner. We were going to meet on the status of the Economic Development Committee jointly with the, Planning Board, but someone planned a vacation.
Sorry.
And so we're not gonna do that, and, yep,
We'll wait on that.
that's the next meeting.
Vacations are important.
All right, could we have a motion to
So
adjourn?
moved.
So moved. Second.
Motion made and second to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
Good work, everyone.
Thank you.